Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with Kim and I. Kim Copeland, ladies and gentlemen. This is Walking Into Worlds, and she has been gracious enough and brave enough to join us here live today. Thank you, Kim.
Hey, thank you, Terry. Love it. Thank you for inviting me. I love the
All right.
subject. What a
No,
wonderful subject. And hi,
you.
Andrea.
Yes, Andrea. We were just talking about how we'd love to have you live next door to us.
Be our
Oh,
helpers. Yeah.
all right. There's Janet P. Hi, Janet.
Yeah. Hey, Janet.
Welcome to the show.
Beautiful,
Well,
beautiful
we'll
people.
just soldier on and mention some of the people in the chat later.
Okay.
This is Walking Into Worlds, and I am Terry Lee, pure visionary psychic medium. And if you're just dropping in and hanging out, waiting for your drying to be done at the laundromat, you're in for a surprise. You're a subscriber. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and you know that. And we thank you so much for being in the chat and supporting us, members of this community. We're just really, I'm honored and thrilled every time I consider this fabulous journey that we're on all together. Okay, now we got Starfish jumping in. Hello.
Hello, Starfish. Yeah. Hey,
Yay.
Janet.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read the statement that I read at the beginning of the show. And if you've seen the other shows, I apologize. But just for those who are coming in new today or listening today or lurking today out there, I want to kind of explain the intention of this show. And I'm just going to do this little reading here. Walking into Worlds is an honest and open conversation between two psychic mediums about life experiences in their journey to becoming a psychic medium, as well as experiences after dedicating themselves as a professional psychic medium. Truly, we walk in two worlds. It is adventurous and wild at times, but always deeply meaningful and an honor to be a vessel for source energy, a journey for which we will be eternally grateful. Now, later on in the show, we will take questions from the chat regarding psychic experiences you may have had or questions regarding becoming a professional psychic medium or how you can use psychic medium skills to enrich your life. We will not do mediumship readings as we do those on our own show. We're only going to entertain questions about psychic mediumship experiences and questions about the unknown. All right. That's what we're up to today. And
Beautiful.
now is the time I get to make you blush, and I do love it.
Thank you.
I cannot say how deeply, hmm, how deeply I feel about the gift that you and Susan Lynn gave to all of us in that beautiful mediumship class that we took from you. Your teachings together were so absolutely right on and perfect. And I feel like even though I was scared to death, you made me comfortable and you made it fun and easy and exciting.
Hmm.
And I'm having the time of my life, the experiences of a lifetime here at my age, and just loving it. And I have you too to thank for giving me the information I needed to go forward to do what I was meant to do. So
Oh,
thank you, Kim Copeland.
thank you. My honor, my privilege, my
Great.
joy. I love to teach.
Wonderful.
I
Wonderful.
feel like it's a calling for me.
Yes, I believe that because you do it so well. And anyone out there who's considering it, no higher recommendation than from all of us ladies in that class. It was amazing, and we're all out there doing our thing now, and it's wonderful. And
Mhm.
that's what we're going to be talking about today, doing our thing and what it's like. I'm going to take a pause for just a minute to say hi to Butterfly Kisses. Hello. And Vivian. And let's see who else we got. Maybe just me. Hi, just me. All right. And Lauren. Hi, Lauren. We need to get that reading set up, Lauren. And all right. How wonderful to have you with us today, everyone. We're
Yeah,
gonna start with some questions for Kim, if you're ready, Kim.
I'm ready. I
All
have
right.
no idea what you're going to ask. This total surprise. You did not tell me ahead of time.
That's right.
So,
And aren't you a brave woman? Okay, so I do have questions, some of the questions the other psychic mediums were given, but I do kind of tend to bounce around. And if the subject kind of leads into another area, then we'll invent some questions maybe.
okay.
Okay, so I love this one first though, and this is what were some of the first experiences you had in this lifetime that you can look back on now and identify as part of your psychic and or mediumship skills and abilities?
My first experiences. I mean, I remember I'd never thought I'm not one of those people that saw spirits when I was little.
Okay.
But what I do realize about me being little is that I knew people well. I could read people, and let's see, I could actually predict sort of their future a bit. But
Okay.
I never thought I was psychic. I just realized that I could do that. But I'm just now noticing that, oh, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And I could relate to just knowing things about people. And, I just, without them telling me.
Yeah, that's great.
Hmm.
You know, it's interesting, and it does happen. I felt like it happened after I'd been doing this for a little while, and then I thought, "Yeah, that's right. I used to talk to people who'd passed away," and
Oh,
and just in my head and my heart, you know, and didn't think anything of it. Um, yeah, little experiences like that kind of keep popping up, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
all
yeah, right. I
part of
mean,
it."
I remember I was talking to people, but I don't know that I saw them.
Yes, right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
not everybody has. Yeah, that's
but
great.
I did talk to them, but it's more like, okay, I'm praying to make an A on this test or something like that. I mean,
"Please help me, grandma."
high spiritual goals.
Yes. Well, that's all part of it, isn't it? And let's jump into this next question. What were some of the things that fascinated or interested you as a child or a young person that made you curious about psychic abilities or ESP or magic?
Okay. Well, it was very normal in my household, by the way.
Oh, okay.
ESP was a big word, psychic. My mom was an astrologer, numerologist. My
Oh,
grandmother was a tarot reader. She also was a channeler, and she had a lot of objective visions. So it was just normal. I mean, it was normal, at least on one side of my family. So I remember my mom, when I was about 10, she was taking some psychic development classes in Greenwich Village. We lived in New Jersey, very close to New York. And she would be practicing at home these things. And as some of those things that I learned then, I use in my classes. Just,
wow.
uh,
That's great.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well,
So
then,
just
yeah, so great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just didn't even know different really. And I mean, I did have, when my dad's side was much more not talk about it so much,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like I felt punished or anything about it. My dad would call it crazy, right? But but it's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm glad. And then when I was after my mom died when I was about 12. And it was
Okay.
at that point then that I was searching for the other side. That's when I was actually wondering
Wow.
what happens to us when we die.
Wow.
And I was very much, you're talking about walking in between the worlds at 12 is like,
Mhm.
I felt like, oh, how can I find my mom? And I did feel there was a point in my life where I was walking between worlds at that age, even, you know.
Right.
Um, and not that I ever found her so much, not too much later,
Okay.
with mediumship, but I think the idea that I don't know, I'm just more aware of death, you
Right.
know, and so yeah, I mean, I think that has definitely shaped my life and
Beautiful.
my.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, I'm very sorry about the loss of your mother so early. That's wow.
Hmm.
It's interesting. A lot of us have, a lot of us, at least in our group that we've been interviewing, have had like difficult times in our childhood
Hmm.
and things that perhaps made us reach out more than some other children. So
Yes.
That's
Yes,
always,
absolutely.
something that makes you seek out spirituality.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna pause again and say, "Hi, Ron, unconditional love, Tarot." I always feel good when I see Ron, I'm like, "Okay, it's gonna be alright.
Everything's right in the world, yeah,
Ron's
and
here. It's good." Yeah.
skywalking with Moon, and there's
Oh,
Terry,
yes.
the
Hi,
other
Terry.
Terry.
Wonderful. Oh, all the cool kids. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just to continue that thought, yeah, that reaching out for spirituality, like I was raised in a very well, my mom was a hardcore, solid, true believing Christian woman, and she still
uh-huh,
is at 102.
wow,
Yes. So, like, spirituality and going to Sunday school, all of that was really important to me. My dad had struggled, with alcoholism and violent activities and things like that. So, um, I understand it all now. I didn't understand it then, but that gave me that drive to seek out spirituality and understand, why things happened the way they did. And then when I began to feel like I needed to break away from the way my mother saw things,
uh-huh.
and I really sought out other information and things to study and learn about and explore with. So I got to thank her for that good faith, though. And she doesn't really know what I'm doing. I
Oh,
just put her down for a nap and said, "I've got a meeting I've gotta go to," and she said, "I'm gonna pray for your meeting." And I said, "Thanks, mom."
do you guys live together?
Uh, well, she was living with my older sister, and then about 3 months ago, my older sister, who is very ill herself,
Uh-huh,
had to go to a home where she could have more medical care every day on a daily basis. She was trying to help care for my mom, and so
mhm.
my mom came to live with me. And
Wow.
and so these are precious days indeed.
Yes, sacred time, that's it, that believe yes, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
So
was gonna say one of the things that turned me, continuing a little bit on that, question, it
sure.
was, I was I was in 1995, and I saw a medium on TV,
Oh, yeah.
Rosemary Altea, and it
Ah,
was like, okay, and I sort of had forgotten my 12-year-old, desire, and then all of a sudden it was it reignited.
oh, that's excellent.
Mhm.
Yes, and I did follow a lot of, psychic mediums on TV when I was young as well. Just
Mm,
fascinated me and was fascinated by Edgar Cayce and
yeah,
was always attracted to those sorts of things. I never had any idea that I would ever become one. I just thought it was great.
yeah.
The unknown, you know?
Well, I think the people who are interested have more, gifts, right? Or you wouldn't be interested perhaps.
I think that's very true,
Yeah,
very true. Okay, well,
I believe that for sure.
this comes into the next question, which is, how was it that you came to know that becoming a professional psychic medium was your desire and your destiny?
Uh-huh.
That's
I'm still working on that.
good answer.
Uh, but it was desire. Um, Gosh, I guess I knew when I started, I've been doing the psychic development, a little mediumship since 1995. Very interested. I mean, it's like I will give anything to participate in a group or a class or whatever. It's been top priority for me.
Mhm.
And even when my kids were little, they knew, no, if I'm meditating, don't bother mom, they knew to stay away. Um, Now, I mean, I could only meditate for so long, but um, but I would say it was just became so much fun for me, so much
Mhm.
that I enjoyed it. Then, and I knew I was getting closer to retirement. A year or two ago.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been a professional really for that long. I've
Oh,
been a
really?
want to be a professional. I mean, maybe 2 years.
Okay, okay.
So, um, but and I didn't even call myself a medium. I would say it took me till 2 years ago, even though I've been studying all that time. I didn't
Right.
want to. I just felt like, do I even deserve that title?
Oh.
But true, and but I now I know that so many that mediums really is just walking between the worlds, as you say,
Yeah.
and I've done that so much in the healthcare field,
Mhm.
as a hospice nurse, because it's
Yes.
definitely walking in between the worlds
Mhm.
there, and even before doing hospice. So I don't know. It's just I don't honestly. I feel like it's my soul. I just know it deep in my soul
Right.
that that's who I am.
Mhm.
You know. Uh, yeah, but it took me a while to actually claim it.
Wow, that's interesting. But when you did, you knew that's where you belonged, correct?
Yeah, and I still, I still like. I mean, I'm not questioning that part now.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, how do I manage life here on the in the 3D, in the
Mhm.
5D, or wherever we are, or this level and up into the spirit world, and
Mm.
managing that in a daily with a balance every day is still, I still work. I would say I'm still working on that.
Yeah, it never ceases to surprise or amaze me, the things that can happen in your life. I wanna back it up just a minute because I wanted to talk about your experience as a hospice nurse,
Uh-huh.
and, uh, and tell us how tell us how that forged your way to also, um, I because I sense with you, you have a deeper, richer knowledge. I mean, I think many of us, and we'll talk about this later, sense when we're talking to someone on the other side, we feel them. We feel the essence of them, I like to say.
Yes.
And you seem to have a really deep, rich knowledge and understanding of that. And do you feel like a lot of that has come from being a hospice nurse and perhaps being with people when they passed and crossed over?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know if that is related. But I
Yeah.
definitely have walked a lot of people. I mean, I figured the other day how many thousands, really, people
Ah,
that I have been with that have transitioned. I think it's somewhere between 10 and 14,000. I mean, it's a
wow.
lot of transitions. Um, I don't know if that's it. Maybe it's just that I've been with a lot of people too,
Yes.
because I feel like we're on this side of the earth. I mean,
Mhm,
on this side of the veil and going across, we carry a lot of things with us. We
mhm.
can carry that over.
Right.
And so maybe that's part of it is that feeling again, maybe it's the feeling of the people that I can
Mhm.
still feel on this side and I also feel on that side.
Right, right. Yeah, and then you've had association with many, many, many people, so that gives you a deeper understanding into personalities and spiritual vibration, I guess I would say, of mankind.
Well, yeah, I think one of the most important things
Yeah.
I've learned about that is to
Uh-huh.
feel blessed, to feel grateful for everything that we have, everything that we are, everything that we may become, and to try to heal as much as possible now before we get to that bridge,
Yes.
so that crossing that bridge is easier. That's
Yes.
what I really, and I just know that when I take my daily walk, I
Mhm.
am grateful I have legs that can walk,
Yes.
you know?
Yes, I
Um,
do.
it's all of that is so because it can be gone in an instant.
Very,
And
very true.
to really cherish our family and friends and relationships. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Well, and that's in fact, you know, there's no better way to raise your vibration. There just isn't,
Mhm.
and even before I started this journey, um, I would catch myself praying and saying, "Thank you for letting me have this adventure on the planet," right? Or "Thank you for letting me come to planet Earth," or
Yes.
I would start I would start my prayers out that way, and now I understand what that's part of. It's really understanding that we have had lifetimes and that an experience and a journey on planet Earth is truly a gift, and we should always, always be grateful for it, and I also remember, Esther Hicks always talking about, "If you can't think of anything to be grateful for, just be happy for your pillow. Just be thankful for your pillow or your blanket or your comfortable chair, or you have to start somewhere I do it in the morning, every morning, sometimes at 4 in the morning, um, and it makes my life so much easier. It just lifts you up and gives you that joy and strength to go forward.
Uh-huh,
So,
uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Well,
truly important,
and
truly important.
yeah, and as far as, as people transitioning, one of the things, of course, I learned is that there is no question that there's an afterlife.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, whether it's from my perspective and I can see it, or whether they see it, the near
right.
death awareness, the shared near death awareness is all, I mean, it's just no question.
Oh, it's
And
giving
so
me chills.
that's the joy, really, that's the joy
Yes.
that life never ends. We
Mhm.
continue on, and we are, all of us really are walking into worlds.
That's true.
Everybody
That is
is.
true.
And
That's true. Ours is just a little wilder.
yeah, yes. Well, hello, everybody. I think Terry has, uh, she'll come back. I'm sure she will, everybody. Good to see you. Uh,
Blink.
there you are.
I'm a fairy. I just like to pop in and out sometimes.
You do have some fairy energy, but you have a very earth energy as well.
Thank you. That's quite
Yeah.
interesting. My astrologer, when I sat down and he first met me, he goes, "You are surrounded by fairy energy." And I'm like, "Really? Fairy energy? Wow."
You
My
too.
granddaughter is a definite fairy. I mean,
Oh,
we call her my fairy granddaughter, and she truly is. But
uh,
anyway, I have a very sensitive mouse, so if I blink out, it's a newer mouse, and if you just slide your hand in a certain way, you go to another screen.
oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
promised myself I wasn't gonna do that this time, but, it's always good to have a little mischief. But what I was gonna say is I wanted to pause and just remind everybody that I am looking for questions that we will be answering later, and I will be starring them. So if you would put them all in caps, we're accepting, questions on, and I'll read this again, um, regarding psychic experiences, questions on becoming a professional psychic medium, or how you can use psychic medium skills to enrich your life. If you've seen something mystic or mysterious and you don't understand it, hey, put it in the chat. We'll have a look at it later on in the show. All right.
Thank you. You're a
Okay.
wonderful host, by the way.
Oh gosh, thank
Yeah.
you. Well, I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just having
It's,
too much fun.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Oh, Kim, thank you so much. I'm really happy to have you. Okay, so I'm gonna skip a little forward here. I'm looking at my time. All right. Explain to us how you see with your third eye. And I
Okay.
guess you answered, but when you were young, you didn't see spirits or ghosts, but do you see them now, and how do you see them?
Okay. Oh, good question. Yeah, I see them all the time, every day. It wouldn't be a day if I didn't see them. So I would say most of the time when I see spirits, when I see objectively, now, so subjectively, you see them in your mind's eye.
Right. Mhm.
Object, Objectively, you see them out of your mind.
Mhm.
So, and I see both ways.
Okay.
Uh, so commonly for me to see objectively is I'll just see lights. And
Okay.
most of the time I will see lights, but then I will also see, they're usually white lights, blue lights, sometimes gold lights. Um, and I see them around, especially when I'm giving a reading. And then if it's with one of their spirit communicators is coming through, I
Okay.
will often see the light, but I also feel them too. So I don't think everybody just has to see them. You can feel them as well. I can feel them come close to me. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's, objective, but I can also see people often, it's more fuzzy, I would say,
Okay.
around people. I see
Alright.
kind of a fuzziness that I would know, and it usually comes in as a color for me, as
Okay.
a spirit would come in as a color.
Mhm.
And I have seen full, um, full people. Should I say full, a whole person?
Really? Wow.
Several, actually, Jesus and Mother Mary.
Wow.
And
Several mule.
a lot of times. So I see them show up in full body,
Uh-huh.
and then subjectively. I see also too, now when I'm doing a reading, it's more, I'm not even sure which way it is. It's kind of a combination of subjective, objective. You probably have the same experience.
I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then when I meditate, it's let's see here. I see colors a
Mhm.
lot, and then I'll see an outline of more of an outline I know as a guide, or sometimes I see several guides. And then
Mhm.
I see that more, and it's with my eyes closed, so it's be subjectively.
That's correct.
I see them uh, right around my third eye.
Yes. Wow. That's so cool. And, I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart because I also, by the way, everyone took Kim's color class, which was amazing. And when I read, I experience that so much more richly now, and I've gotten to the point where I know what it means when these certain colors come through. Like if I'm, beginning a reading and all of a sudden I'm feeling just warm, luscious pink all around me, then I know there's a very loving spirit coming in. And,
Hmm.
it's wonderful to have that addition of color.
Hmm.
Also for, like, in healing readings and that sort of thing, the colors really come through and tell you a lot. So, thank you,
Yes,
Kim. Thank
I
you.
depend on color a lot. It's my one of my main tools.
Yeah. And, lately I've been really experimenting. I mean, the background, but I've been dressing like this lately. I bought a whole bunch of colorful clothes this spring, and
Uh-huh.
it's all of a sudden I'm discovering how powerful the energy of color is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, it really is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Don't tell my husband I bought all those clothes though, because
That's well,
I
I
hope he's
remember,
not watching the show.
well, there is a big difference in your energy field with
Yes,
colors and even the fabric.
yes.
So when you combine a wonderful color and then a luscious, maybe a natural fiber,
Mhm.
such as silk or cotton,
Right.
that even makes it more powerful because that enhances your energy field even more. It
Yes.
blends better,
Yes, you're
right?
right.
It enhances it better. Just like everything, we all work with vibration, color,
Mhm.
fabric, everything is solid vibration.
Yes, it is,
Yeah, I
indeed.
love it that you're doing that. When I was taking my in my energy medicine training, everybody, I mean, everybody wore these wonderful colors, flowing, and
Yeah,
velvet and silk, and it
love it.
was everybody that was there. The 300 people are like, flowing color. It was it was awesome.
That must have been a great time. I like that. Wow.
Yeah.
I wanna go back to the, spirits, question. We'll kinda drift back there. Uh, I had an experience lately. Well, okay, I'll start over. Since my mom has come to be with me, I've always felt the presence of my family members sometimes at night coming in, but they're regulars now. They're regulars.
Oh,
And, so, I'm just kind of used to it. But the other day, I walked down the hall, and I literally walked through somebody.
uh-oh.
I felt them about 2 to 3 feet and kind of saw them and was like, "Oh my god," and I walked right through them, walking through the hallway, and that's the first time I've ever had an experience like that.
Oh.
I've seen things, but they're not that close to me, and I get a little chance to identify them, but I literally did. I
Now, how
walked
did that feel walking through?
um, kind of electrifying because
Uh-huh.
it was as it was happening, I'm like, "I'm gonna walk through that and then I walked through them, and it was like, wow, I felt supercharged.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Nice. And you
and
think it's a family member?
I'm pretty sure because I didn't feel any fear or I felt comfortable, like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, excuse me," kind of
Uh-huh.
thing.
Right,
So,
right. I
yeah,
know,
and I
yeah.
I haven't really taken the time to identify who it is. It was a male, and he had on a plaid shirt, but I didn't catch the face, so it could have been either my father or my son or maybe a grandfather.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting stuff, and that's that walking in 2 worlds where excuse me, it feels like, yeah, things are always surprising you, and interesting things are always popping up. There's always something to learn. It's an exciting life.
It
Please
is
excuse
exciting. I
me.
wouldn't do it any other way, really.
Oh, no,
I
this is
you know,
good.
there's I can't imagine really
Oh,
living a
pardon me.
different way.
I'm having some spring allergies.
Oh.
And they're so fun.
Bless you for that.
All right. Well, let's take another question. And hmm, I see some here that are going to be pretty easy for you. And I know you have
Oh, give
clairaudience.
me easy.
Oh,
No.
you want easy?
No, whatever you want. I don't
Okay.
care. Whatever you want.
Well, we kind of touched on this, but let's touch on it again. Can you explain how you, in particular, feel the essence of a soul when you are doing a mediumship reading? And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but let's touch on it again.
Okay. Well, it starts as more like a glimpse, more like a glimpse, kind of,
Or a
just
glance.
like a, it's like such a fleeting moment. And then as you invite the soul closer, then you feel more of an essence.
Mhm.
But some souls come in right away very strong. It's,
Yes.
so it depends on the soul that we're talking about. But
Mhm.
I think for me, it's a lot about the heart feeling to
Mhm.
know how, when I feel the heart to heart connection,
Yes.
then, and I feel also chills, so if I know I'm on the right track as I'm describing this soul and I'm on the right track, I get the chills, or I feel
Mhm.
my body a confirmation. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But some souls come in as a feeling, some souls come in as a vision, some souls are going to be very clairaudient. So even though, and just like we're different, we receive spirit information different, and the souls give us information differently
Mhm.
as well.
That's one of the reasons why I'm enjoying this series so much is because it shows the uniqueness of each and every psychic medium
Mhm.
and how we are touched, how we're led here, how we experience the mediumship and the psychic abilities individually. I always imagine it like a field of flowers. And you might look back and go, well, that's a field of flowers. But when you go closer, the creator creates these beautiful individual things of each and every flower that it has its own message and um, its own glow.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, can I tell you a story about the glowing flowers?
Oh, yes, of course. Please do.
Okay. So
Sounds like we're supposed to talk about them.
I was in my garden. This is many years ago, probably about 19. I just happen to remember because my son was like 3. So um, it was my birthday, and
Mhm.
there was a lady in the garden who was a meditator. She came in her garden. All the fairies were in her garden. It was a gorgeous garden. She would sit there
Uh,
before she even entered. She would sit on a bench. She would meditate for maybe 10, 15 minutes before she even entered the garden. It's like she asked permission. But anyway, one day I'm watering and she walks by and she says, "Hi, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." I said, "It's my birthday today." She said, "Did you tell your garden it's your birthday?" I said, "No, I didn't even think about telling my garden." But as soon as I said it's my birthday, my whole garden turned gold. I
wow.
mean, it was like a foot off and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
just like, no, I'm not saying it stayed gold, but it was a
Yeah.
flash of gold over my whole garden, which was 20 by 40 feet.
Wow.
Everything was gold for just like,
Wow.
whew, for like maybe a second or so, but still,
What an
it was
experience.
yeah. So
That's super
plants
cool.
really,
Oh,
they
yeah.
are, they're spirits too.
They are indeed. I have a tree outside, I have big window doors in my, bedroom, and I have a tree outside of it, and that's my favorite tree in my yard. I have lots of trees, and I hate to play favorites, but it's my favorite. It's the tree I hug. It's the tree I say good morning to when I step out on the porch, and that tree grew a branch down. I mean, I could see the trunk of it and some of the distant branches from my window, but that tree drew a branch down into dead center of one of my window doors, and then it waves to me. It waves to me in the morning, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, good
That's
morning."
great. Look for the gold or the blue aura.
I will, yeah, I'm gonna look a little closer. I do have a grove of trees in this, river walk that I've been taking for years, and I have to stop and talk to them every time I pass this. I swear in my vibration, they glow. I don't actually see it physically with my eyes, I just feel it, and
Yeah.
I have to stop and I'll raise my hands and say, "Hello, how are you all doing?" It's a very powerful feeling. It is.
Yeah, and they're so connected to each other,
Yes.
really connected. Trees are
Especially those
connected.
aspen trees.
Yeah.
Aspen tree forest is really a mystical thing. It is. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead. I'm gonna try to find the last question, and then we'll take some questions. How's that sound?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's so hard. I just wanna give you all of these questions. You might have to come back. You might have to come back.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't have to ask you about colors. We don't have to about we haven't talked about your guides.
Okay.
Okay. I'll bet your guides are interesting.
Oh,
Do your
yeah.
guides have a sense of humor? And how is it you feel their personalities and their the sense of them as they come through? Give us some fun stories.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, interesting. I've known my guides for many years. I would since 1995, really. And I've got two guides that I've known probably they've been with me all my life, but these
Um,
two, and they have one of them has a sense of humor, but he's also very deep. So
okay.
he's a I would call him a traditional Chinese medicine doctor.
Oh, cool.
And so he goes with the deep waters. He's like the meditation, the very yin type of guide.
Yeah.
Um, but he also has a sense of humor. And I don't, as funny as far as funny stories. I mean, and his name is Martin, by the way. So the
Right.
thing about Martin is he'll show up. I'll say the Martin name, here and there. So
Uh-huh.
that shows up. And this other guy that I have, and I hope it's okay that for such a long
Oh,
time, my guys
take
didn't
a
want
minute
me
and
to.
ask him permission if you need to.
Yeah, because they really didn't want me to talk about them.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, but now this one, and now I've got a new one too. Well, at least I think he's new, or at least I just discovered. I
Mhm.
would say he's a master color healer. So when I was teaching color
Mm,
class not too
mhm,
long ago,
mhm.
it's one of the last classes of maybe a month or two ago. I get so strong. I'm not one of these that have conversations all the time with my guides. I usually talk to the angels actually.
Okay, okay.
So, but he was helping me with the class, absolutely hands down, telling me
Yes.
yes, no, or yeah, this is what brown means, this is what magenta, so it was really beautiful for
That's
him.
neat.
And he's come since then also, and it's about healing and color. So I know
Wow.
he's a master color healer. I don't really have a name for him, um,
Okay.
uh,
Sometimes you don't
but
get
it's
a name.
no, I don't really get names too much.
Yeah.
Um, I do have a painting. I could probably grab it, but I'm not. I'd have to leave. My ex-husband painted two of the martin and the blue feather. He painted
Oh.
those for me
Oh,
because
wow.
he's very visual, he's very psychic, very visual, and also an artist. And he paints. So I have a painting of those two. Um, but I don't know, funny stories. I don't know. I don't know if I have funny stories about. um, but I know they're there. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And I probably take them for
yeah.
granted. But I also believe my belief system is, our guides are part of our higher self.
Yes, yes.
And so I just, we can't be separated because of that.
Yeah, yeah. It's, when my guides are kinda sassy. I have some sassy guides, but it's interesting, when I used to talk to people before I was even aware of what was going on, sometimes I'd have these deep, uh I don't wanna say counseling sessions, but someone would ask me about something or we'd be having a conversation, and I'd find myself talking and saying things, and I'd be like, "Hey, that's a great idea. I did not say that. Where did that come from?" And later on,
Oh,
I'd rethink the conversation and learn from it, Um,
uh-huh.
so it's interesting how, that intimate relationship begins to build when you begin to seek them out and then dig in and be really comfortable with them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
So, like, all
What
the
I
time, I know when they remind me of things, I'll be like, "Oh, thank you," I because
Oh,
I
that's
know it
nice.
wasn't me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Just recently I've been taking some time in the morning to sit with my guides.
Yeah.
versus so I have my basic meditation that I do,
Mhm.
and then after that, then I just sit with the guides,
Right. Oh,
and
that's
that's been
beautiful.
lovely, and, I feel like if people want to get more in touch with their guides, rather than working so hard, what it's like, I think, and I was just told, Mother Mary just told me this. Now she's one of my guides, by the way, Mother Mary. You
Wow,
know,
that's
I think she's I
awesome.
mean, I don't know, she's not like a regular guide, you know what I mean? But she's a guide for me.
She's a guest star guide,
Yeah,
right?
she's like there you go.
Yes.
She's one of my guiding forces.
Love
But,
that.
but Mother Mary said, "Just go with your heart, connect heart to heart, just like you would with a spirit communicator, just like you would with a
Yeah,
departed loved one."
yeah.
So, instead of trying to figure it out mind to mind, you just go heart to heart.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love
And
that.
it's and that allows it to come in easier, that connection.
Yes, absolutely. That's great.
Mhm.
Do you find here's a question, do you find that your guides switch out? Which I guess Mother Mary kinda does once in a while, but do you find that guides come and go?
Well, for me, I know I have pretty consistent that I
Okay,
know of. I'm
okay.
sure I know there's some that come and go. I know, I mean, I've seen some at a shorter period of time, but I also have a name that I call as a group, and I call Me Sing. I don't know how I came up with the name Me Sing, but it feels very Japanese to me,
Maybe
and
they
so
told
I
you.
feel there's a, and I know that that's a group. Um, and I have another one named Silver Toe because all I could see of him was his silver toe.
Oh,
And I don't
that's
know why,
cute.
but he smells like Morocco. I mean, he smells like turmeric or some or curry, you know, there's a
Yeah.
smell with him. And I know he's also about healing. So most of mine are about healing that I
That's
know of, you
well,
know.
that's not
I need
surprising.
I
He is
need
quite
something
the
though
healer.
for like, you know, relationship. I need something for finances. I need it, but I don't know where they are.
I I always keep asking the guys, like, "When are you guys gonna get, like, a hairdresser guide for me?" Right? But
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
do have I mean, the first one I knew the name of was Marcia, and it
Uh-huh.
came to me so strongly, and I'm like, "My guide's name is Marcia?"
Uh-huh.
And we had the conversation, and I adored Marsha. Marsha was, like, just like a best girlfriend, right? And then all of a sudden, Marsha just kinda disappeared, not in a bad way, just faded away, and then, Herschel came in, who is just breathtaking, the sweetest, gentlest, most powerful soul, and then, later came Elder. Elder, now Elder is the serious one, you
Uh-huh.
know? He's the one
Uh-huh.
that in the middle of the night wakes me up and now hear this, and I do.
Uh-huh.
But it's interesting when I just don't feel marshy anymore like I used to, but, it's amazing. It's
Mhm.
amazing, and I do have to have you on another show because I wanna talk about all your energy healing ideas, which I've
Oh,
been using, by the way,
okay.
with some back issues that I had, and I doing the the motion and moving the energy, right hand, left hand, and
Yeah.
it's truly amazing and so
Yeah.
helpful. I'm sure it would
Yeah,
help
yeah.
a lot of people. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, we should do that. Somebody was asking how long I've been working with Mother Mary. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I've seen her since early 2000s, but
Wow.
I didn't work with her probably until maybe a year or 2 ago,
Mhm.
and,
Wow.
it was more oh, well, no, wait, I take that back. I'm sorry. Wait. Hmm. I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, I'm not sure what it is, would I was just drawn to her, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
I would sit in meditation, and I'd put a light blue I just had this wonderful silk, oh, it's this like a scarf kind of, that I got it from a special place in India. Anyway, I mean, not I didn't go to India, but somebody came from India and
Okay.
brought the scarf, okay?
Uh-huh.
I wish I wanna go to India one day, but
Yeah.
anyway, but I would put this over my head, and I would think of Mother Mary. And so anyway, that's kinda how it started, but then,
Awesome.
in the last year especially, it's like she just shows up a lot.
That's cool.
She comes in right in front of me or right on my right side. I
Very
mean, every day, really. It's an everyday thing.
that's beautiful. That's
But
just
I talk to
beautiful.
her. I mean, I
Yeah.
purposely talk to her, you know,
Mhm.
and I feel like
Yes.
that's what we can all do. If there's
Yes.
somebody that somebody's attracted to,
Mhm.
whoever that is, if it's
Absolutely.
Metatron, if it's Buddha, it doesn't matter. But
Right.
and these are just energies. We're all one anyway.
Mhm.
I mean, Mary is a one with you and me and
Yes.
Metatron, and we're all one. So it's just what the flavor of the energy of the oneness that you want to bring to you.
Mhm. That
And
beautiful
by
energy. Yeah.
yeah, just
Mhm.
by thinking it or sitting with it or however writing it, whatever to bring it to
Yeah.
you closer.
Lovely. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna jump right into a question from the chat because I'm looking at the time. This is great. I kinda wanna have a part 2 with you, but we'll we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Um, so, Starfish, wants to know, do you have any idea how many mediums would come from your classes in such a short time? Did you have any idea?
No, and but the thing is, everybody's a medium. Everybody who's come to, I mean, it's just, I mean, I believe anybody can be a me. It's just desire,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And dedication. It's a development process.
Yes, it
So
is.
I think if anybody, and I have no, I know I had no, no, I didn't know there would be a big. I'm so happy that there's several people
Yes.
that have decided to really branch out, and it takes courage, right? It's not for it's a lion energy to come out here to do
It's not for
this.
the faint of heart, that's for
No.
sure. That's a
Yeah.
great question, Starfish. Really appreciate that. And also at this moment, I'm gonna take a brief moment quickly to say thank you to everybody in the chat. We love this community, and we so love your support and your care for us and your joy for us and the way we all share together. Thank you. All right, now we're gonna go to, um, this question. I haven't read the whole thing yet. How do we know if an affliction can be healed or if its purpose is to teach others? I was told anything can be healed with faith. When it doesn't work, is there another purpose?
Hmm. Good question.
And that's
Um,
flying without a broom. Thank you for your question.
First, I think we need to look at what does it mean to be healed, or what at what level is healing? Is it there's a lot of different levels: physical, spiritual, emotional, mental
Mhm.
levels. So
Yes,
maybe one level will be healed, but the other level won't. And I do believe, like you're saying, that there's a purpose. There's always a purpose,
true.
whether it's to teach you or to teach others or to demonstrate courage through an affliction or a
Mhm,
disease process.
mhm.
Um, yes. So yeah. What do you think, Terry?
Well, I've had many afflictions, so the most recent was when I, broke my collarbone last summer, and, it it really took me through some things because that's when I camp and live in the woods, and that's when all my fun happens, and, right at during the peak of that, I broke my collarbone, and, at first I'm thinking, "Okay, well, this happens to people, and you've gotta work through this," and it always comes to me too is, "What am I gonna learn from this?" And it really taught me a lot about dedication,
Hmm.
specifically to, my prayers and meditations, and of course, physical therapy and the things that I had to do on my own. But then at the same time, I was praying up a storm saying, "Oh, can you rush this just a little bit?"
Yeah. Painful,
And
right?
I had to also accept the fact that, it takes us longer to heal as we get a little older.
Uh-huh.
So, my physical therapist and my, doctor were concerned that and it's really a miracle, that a bone can get broken like this, and all of a sudden it finds its way back and connects.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So, I
Yeah.
started visualizing that, and
Wonderful.
that really helped me with my visualization process, and yes, it did heal, and it's strong, and it gives me no more problems, so the lessons I learned through it, I think, gave me, a good, force behind my purpose, a good force behind, not, "Oh, woe is me," or a force of fear, but it was a force of continuing through using the gifts that I've been given by the creator to get through it in the best way possible.
Hmm. Well, it
Yes.
sounds like you did a wonderful job. I mean, yeah, the
Oh,
visualization is important, little figure
mhm.
eights around it.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Did all those
Yeah.
things that I learned from you.
Well,
Cool. Okay, well, we've probably got time for maybe one more, and I'm gonna keep looking, I guess. Okay, let me go back then, I guess, all right, Starfish, you're a double winner.
no,
Starfish wants to know how
good.
we do shadow work for ourselves.
I don't even know if I have the proper answer for that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's definitely a specialty. For me, it would be definitely knowing, first of all, you've got a shadow self,
Yes.
and it's
Mhm,
normal, right?
mhm.
Because
Yeah.
so many of us, oh, I don't have oh no, I'm fine, I don't have anything. I mean, I do. Everybody has this part of the duality that we live in.
Right.
But how do we work on it? I would say journaling would be really important for that. And
Yes.
just to
Mhm.
acknowledge that this is part of us and integrating it and sending it as much light as possible. That's what I would say. I don't know, Terry, do you have, what do you think?
Well, shadow work is interesting. It never pops up to me the same way twice. And it's something that I immediately take into meditation. And I love this all I seek, I already am.
Hmm.
So when I get into that, I understand, okay, I can be settled and I can go forward with this, and then I can step back and take a look at it effectively. But if I'm in the thralls of trying to figure it out, or thinking I need to do this or I need to do that and I'm not good enough, then I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost. But if I go directly to that meditation and my meditation mantra, it helps me get to the place where I can step back and look at it. And yes, we all have a dark side, and that's all part of being alive on planet Earth and
Hmm.
expanding the way the creator designs everything to expand. Everything.
Hmm.
That's why
Hmm.
you're not born perfect.
Yeah, and I think repression of emotions could be part of the shadow
Yes.
work.
Mhm.
And there's a whole study that repressed emotions turn up into be diseases,
Yes, absolutely.
down the road.
Indeed, that's true. And and
Hmm.
and traits too. It's like, I've talked to other, people who grew up with traumatic, childhoods who had, physical abuse,
Yeah.
and you turn out to develop this, we call it my girlfriend and I call it the ABC syndrome, but it's always planning for things. You plan, "What if this doesn't work out? What if that doesn't work out?" Because when you were growing up, you had to. You didn't know what was gonna happen, you know? And so you
Hmm.
get that in your mind, and then you have to work with that and let it go and have faith and visualize how you want things to be, head in that direction, but ditch that fear, because those plans A, B, C, and D, and E, and F, and that's all about fear, and it's something that you would normally grow up with in that kind of environment. But that in itself is kind of a shadow work, just to shake loose those things that stick to us as we come through life.
Yeah, right. And I like what
Yeah.
Sheila's saying. Forgive yourself, love yourself more. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, and we've got such a beautiful chat here, and, it's, getting close to time. Kim's got, some things to do because she's a busy lady. You are very busy. You have such wonderful energy, you really do.
Oh, you're so sweet. So do you, dear.
Oh, well, thank you. Gosh, and like I say, we'll have to revisit this again because it was just too much fun for me.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, you're, a multi-layered, multi-talented person. So, it's really fun to chat with you. And I just wanna relate back to the chat and thank everybody once again. And, so what do you have coming up after this? You've got a live show, right, Kim? You
I
wanna give
do
us the
at
info on that?
5:15.
Yeah?
5:15. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And yep, yeah. And I usually stay on for about 45 minutes. And then, yeah, I do uh, readings and healings. Yeah,
Okay.
fun.
Alright.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody, you can just jump right onto Kim's channel after this, huh?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for
Oh, God.
having me. It was a blast, really, sitting,
Oh,
talking, chatting with you, and
yeah.
seeing everybody here.
Yes. Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I wanna, remind everybody, if you enjoyed this, and I always forget to say this, but please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed it, that really helps a lot. And also look for a live show, on my channel on Friday, and I will be with Sun Psychic Jean and Terry Suzuki, and we'll be doing live mediumship readings from the chat. So
On
be
Friday?
sure, yeah, on Friday. So be sure to join us then. And let's see. Do you have anything coming up after this show today, Kim, that you want to talk about, or?
Nothing that's popping into my mind right now.
I know I'm like trying to remember. I don't know what time my Friday show is. I think it's 2 or 3:30 Mountain, something like that. But it's hard to pop up with those out of the blue, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
know. It's lovely being here, though.
Oh, thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed it, and the time went by so fast, and it always does when you're having fun. And I hope all of you out there are having fun. You're enjoying life, you're raising your energy, you're knowing who you really are, knowing who you truly are, and expressing that peaceful light that is inside of you out around to everyone. So I'm going to close this show like I always close it, and we'll see you next time. And remember this, and don't forget, you are loved beyond measure. Bye.
Thank you.